Well, questions from the Fox 5 I-Team over how much American workers are benefiting from a multi-billion-dollar factory under construction in Jackson County.
Korean-owned SK Innovation chose Georgia after receiving one of the biggest tax relief packages our state has ever granted. And when finished, SKI promises 2,600 jobs to build batteries for electric cars. But Fox 5 I-Team's reporter Randy Travis says the controversy is over who is actually building the plant.
Another workday comes to life on this massive construction project in North Georgia. But look closer. Most of the faces under those hard hats, even the sleepy ones, are Korean. The timesheets, Korean. The work, jobs you don't necessarily have to be Korean to do.
Georgians have got the shaft over this SKI battery plant.
Georgians celebrated when SK Innovation agreed to build what is now a $2.6 billion factory in Jackson County. Lots of state and local political leaders showed up for the groundbreaking in March 2019. So did Commerce Secretary Wilbur Ross. State and local governments gave the Korean-owned company $300 million in tax breaks. They even donated the land the factory sits on. In return, SK Battery America has now promised 2,600 cutting-edge jobs manufacturing batteries for electric cars.
You got excited. I got real excited.
David Cagle works for the local union of plumbers, pipe fitters, and HVAC workers. But he says when his people tried applying for the construction jobs to build the plant itself, they were told nothing was available.
We've got about 500 people out of work right now that could come up here and be on this job and making a living. Instead, the Koreans are making a living.
Is it possible that they need these Korean workers because they know how to do something at the plant that American workers don't?
No, no. I'm not going to sit here and tell you they don't have a piece of equipment that they have a patent on or proprietary information that they need to bring their people, but the electrical work, the duct work, the pipe fitting, the pipe welding is all generic stuff.
That's important. The only legal way to bring in a foreign construction worker is to get a special visa, basically saying no American can do the job or no American wants the job. Well, plenty of Americans want these jobs.
Concern boiled over in May when Customs and Border Protection announced they caught 33 Koreans at Hartsfield-Jackson trying to sneak into the country for the sole purpose of working illegally at a construction company and battery plant in Georgia. An SK Battery spokesman pointed out they don't actually do the construction hiring. SK Battery America requires all contractors to ensure their workers at the site meet proper state and federal regulations. After becoming aware of this issue in June, we reiterated with our contractors that these guidelines must be followed, and we are cooperating with authorities to provide our support in resolving any issues. SK Battery said more than 1,000 Americans have been hired since construction began in 2019.
It's not a matter of are they a good company, bad company. This is a matter of are you following the rules that apply to workers in our country.
Even though he says he still supports SK Battery, Congressman Doug Collins wrote a letter to ICE asking they fully investigate the complaints raised by union worker David Cagle. It is my understanding that CBP determined this was not an isolated incident. Customs said the Koreans caught at Hartsfield were using fraudulent employment papers. They were immediately sent home.
Are you concerned, Congressman, that there are illegal workers on the job site right now at SKI?
Well, it's become apparent that there is something going on.
Could all those Koreans already on the job actually be Americans? We watch the job site. Many get bused to and from work. Some share various rental homes in this Brazelton neighborhood, piling out of vans at the end of the workday. Local union leaders recorded their own videos in other neighborhoods near the plant.
Hello. Hello. We're with Fox 5 News in Atlanta. Anybody here speak English? No one speaks English? Is anybody here American? No Americans? Americans? English? How are you working at the EV battery plant? Do you have a visa?
The day after our visit, neighbors say those men packed up and moved out.
I'm upset because Georgia's gave them a huge break. This isn't a union, non-union issue. This is a Georgian issue about what's right for Georgians and Georgians getting treated right. And it's a shame.
And it's still under construction. The next phase, and another 430,000 square feet of space, is due to start later this year. In Jackson County, Randy Travis, Fox 5 News.
And adding to all of this, Randy says the judge with the International Trade Commission has ruled SK Batteries stole a competitor's trade secrets, then did a poor job of covering it up.
And all of it linked to putting that battery plant in Jackson County. More on that part of the investigation coming up tonight.